you know what needs to change. You've known for years, maybe decades. You can list every broken pattern, every toxic habit, every wound that's still bleeding. You could write a dissertation on what's wrong with you. And you do nothing, absolutely nothing. Not because you can't, because you won't. Because being broken has become so comfortable, so familiar, so much a part of your identity that healing feels like dying. Oh, let me introduce myself. I'm Zeus. And before you ask, yes, that's Zeus. I've watched humans cling to their suffering for millennia like it is a life raft, when it is actually an anchor. But here's what destroys you. What keeps you stuck? You're not broken because life broke you. You're broken because you're choosing to stay broken. Every single day. With every decision. With every excuse. With every "I'll start tomorrow." You've turned your pain into your personality. And now you don't know who you'd be without it. Let me show you why. Being broken gives you something you're not willing to give up. An excuse for why you're not where you want to be. Why you're not who you want to be. Why your life looks like this. Why you can't, won't, haven't, don't. Your brokenness is your get-out-of-life-free card. Your permanent hall pass. Your acceptable reason to quit before you start. Give up before you try. Fail before you risk. How convenient. You say you want to heal. You read the books. You listen to the podcasts. You know the steps. You understand the process. You have the tools, the resources, the knowledge, the support, and you stay exactly where you are. Talking about change. Thinking about change. Planning change. Never actually changing, because talking about healing is so much easier than doing it. So much safer than risking it might not work. So much more comfortable than facing who you'd have to become. But here's the part that will make you uncomfortable. You're not staying broken because healing is hard. You're staying broken because being broken is easier. Being broken doesn't require you to try, to risk, to be accountable, to show up, to be responsible for your life. Being broken means you can blame your past, your parents, your trauma, your circumstances, your ex, your job, the world, anyone and anything except the person in the mirror. And that's exactly what you want. Look at how you introduce yourself, how you explain yourself, how you justify yourself. I'm just anxious. I'm broken. I have trust issues. I don't do relationships. I'm damaged. I'm a mess. I'm working on myself. You've turned your wounds into your resume, your trauma into your personality, your pain into your brand. You're not a person who experienced something. You're the experience. You're not someone with anxiety. You are anxiety. You're not someone with patterns. You are the pattern. Standing ovation for the identity crisis. And now you're trapped, because healing means losing who you are. Changing means becoming someone you don't recognize. Getting better means admitting the story you've been telling for years was just that. A story, an excuse, a comfortable lie. You've invested so much in being broken, so much time, so much energy. So much of your identity. So many conversations about how broken you are. So many people who know you as the broken one. So many relationships built around your dysfunction. What happens if you heal? Who are you without the wounds? What do you talk about without the trauma? How do you connect without the shared pain? What's your excuse when you don't have one anymore? Terrifying questions. So you don't ask them. You don't heal. You don't change. You stay exactly where you are, where it's safe, where it's familiar, where you know who you are, even if who you are is suffering. And it gets worse, because you're not just staying broken, ... You sabotage healing. Actively, aggressively, consistently. Someone offers help. You reject it. You don't understand. Someone suggests change. You resist Italiano. I've tried everything. Someone sees progress. You destroy it. It won't last. You're not just staying broken. You're defending your right to stay broken. Like it's a position you're holding. A hill you're dying on. A battle you're fighting. Against yourself. For yourself to stay exactly as you are. But here's the part that makes you pathetic. You know what to do. You've always known. Therapy, boundaries, discipline, honesty, accountability, change, action, consistency, showing up, doing the work. You know. And you don't do it. Not because you don't have time. You have time to scroll, to binge, to numb, to distract. Not because you don't have money. You have money for things that keep you comfortable. Not because you don't have support. You have people who'd help. You just don't ask. Or you ask and don't listen. Or you listen and don't apply. Why? Not because healing is impossible. Because healing is terrifying. Because healing means responsibility. Means you can't blame anyone anymore. Means you have to own your life. Your choices. Your patterns. Your future. And that's scarier than staying broken. So you protect the brokenness. You justify it. You romanticize it. You wear it like armor. You call it being real. Being authentic. Being honest about my struggles. Impressive rebranding of giving up. Comment below. What are you protecting by staying broken? What excuse would you lose if you healed? I already know, but you need to say it out loud. You don't want to answer. I know. Because admitting you're choosing this means you could choose differently. You're not a victim of your brokenness. You're its architect. And its biggest defender. You get something from being broken. Something valuable. Something you're not willing to lose. Attention. Sympathy. Lowered expectations. Permission to underperform. An excuse to avoid difficult things. A reason people can't be mad at you. A shield against criticism. A justification for staying small. Being broken gets you care without having to be vulnerable. Gets you understanding without having to explain. Gets you space without having to ask. Gets you patience without having to deserve it. And the best part, you never have to actually get better. Because getting better means losing all of that. Means people expect more. Means you have to perform. Means you have to be accountable. Means you can't use your pain as a reason anymore. So you stay broken, but just broken enough. Just struggling enough. Just hurt enough. Enough to get the benefits. Not so much you actually have to change. Not so much people give up on you. Just enough to maintain the position. The status. The excuse. Quite the performance. But here's what you really can't admit. This is the truth you run from. The one that destroys you when you finally see it. You're comfortable in pain. You know pain. You understand pain. Pain is home. Pain is familiar. Pain is safe. Happiness, growth, peace. Those are foreign. Unknown. Uncomfortable. Terrifying. You don't know how to exist in peace. You don't trust happiness. You don't believe in growth. Because you've never lived there long enough to make it home. So you sabotage it. Every time. Like clockwork, things start going well. You create a problem. Relationship gets healthy. You pick a fight. Job gets stable. You quit. Life gets peaceful. You manufacture drama. Healing starts working. You relapse. Not because you're cursed. Not because you're unlucky. Not because the universe is against you. Because you're terrified of unfamiliar peace more than you're tired of familiar pain. You'd rather suffer in a way you understand than heal in a way you don't. Rather stay broken in a place you know than be whole in a place you've never been. Rather keep the devil you know than risk the unknown you don't. If you're still watching, you're recognizing the pattern. Subscribe if you want more truth. That hurts. Most people would rather stay comfortable in their pain. You're still here. That means something. And now comes the hardest part. You have two options, and you've been avoiding this choice for years, maybe your whole life. Option 1. Stay broken. Own. Italiano. Stop pretending you want to heal. Stop reading the books. Stop talking about change. Stop saying, I'm working on it. Just admit it. Say it out loud. I'm choosing to stay broken. I'm comfortable here. This is where I live. This is who I am, and I'm not changing. At least that's honest. At least that's real. At least you stop wasting everyone's time, including your own, pretending you're going to heal when you have zero intention of doing the work. Or, option 2, act heal, not talk about it, not think about it, not plan it, actually do it. Take the steps, do the work, face the discomfort, risk the unknown, let go of the identity, give up the excuse, lose the familiar pain, become someone you don't recognize yet. Terrifying, uncomfortable, hard. Worth it. But here's the thing, you can't do both. You can't stay broken while claiming you're healing. You can't protect your pain while pretending you're letting it go. You can't keep the excuse while expecting different results. Pick one. Commit. Healing doesn't happen in your head. It doesn't happen in conversations about healing. It doesn't happen in understanding why you're broken. It happens in action. In choices, in showing up when you don't want to, in doing what you know you should do even when every part of you wants to stay comfortable. It requires giving up the story, the identity, the excuse, the familiar, the comfortable, the version of yourself you've been for so long you forgot it was a choice. It means sitting with discomfort, feeling things you've been avoiding, facing things you've been running from, being accountable for things you've been blaming others for, taking responsibility for a life you've been pretending you couldn't control, and becoming someone who doesn't need to be broken anymore. Someone who doesn't get sympathy, doesn't get special treatment, doesn't get lowered expectations, doesn't get excuses. Someone who has to show up, perform, be responsible, be accountable, be whole. That person has to face life without a shield, without armor, without the protection that brokenness provides. That person has to risk. Try, fail, get back up, keep going, without the excuse of, I'm just broken. That's the person you'd have to become, and you're terrified of them. Staying broken isn't easier. It's just more familiar. It's not safer. It's just more predictable. It's not protecting you. It's imprisoning you. Every day you stay broken is a day you're choosing comfort over growth, familiar pain over unfamiliar peace, the known hell over the unknown heaven, the excuse over the effort, the story over the solution. You're not broken because you can't heal. You're broken because you won't, because healing costs something you're not willing to pay. Your identity, your excuse, your comfort, your familiar suffering. And you'd rather keep all of that than risk who you'd have to become to be whole. Rather stay small and safe and broken than grow and risk and heal. Rather die slowly in the pain you know than live fully in the peace you don't. You're not stuck. You're choosing to stay. And until you admit that, nothing changes. Nothing heals. Nothing grows. You just stay exactly where you are, year after year. Talking about change, reading about healing, understanding your patterns, doing absolutely nothing about any of it. You wanted me to give you permission to stay broken, to tell you it's okay. That healing takes time, that you're doing your best, that it's not your fault. I won't, because it is your fault, not the breaking, but the staying, the choosing, the protecting, the defending, the comfortable suffering you've turned into an identity. You're not broken because life broke you. You're re-broken because you're re-clutching your brokenness, like it's the only thing keeping you alive when it's actually the thing killing you. Healing doesn't happen when you're ready. It happens when you're willing And you're not willing. You're comfortable. You're safe. You're protected. You're stuck. You're dying. But at least you're familiar with it. I'll keep watching. I've got eternity. Most of you will stay broken. Most of you will keep talking about healing while doing nothing. Most of you will die clutching your wounds, calling them wisdom, never realizing you chose the suffering. Every single day, prove me wrong. Next time I reveal why you sabotage relationships right when they get good. Why you destroy connection the moment it gets real. Why you push away people who could actually love you. The pattern you're blind to. The fear you're running from. The loneliness you're choosing. See you then, if you're ready to stop lying to yourself.